Hello, Kevin Steele. I just wanted to walk you through some of the newer resources that I found for flipped classrooms. If you've been to one of my flipped classroom presentations in person, you'll have probably seen this before, but I'll kind of walk through the tutorials and the workflow. Just as kind of a refresher, if you haven't been to one, suggest that we come out and see you. You can find that at kevinmsteele.com. You'll see it under the Flipped Learning seminar series, or under the schedule, you'll see even more cities. So what I wanted to talk to you today was about Knowmia. Knowmia is an app for the iPad, so what you're actually watching here is my iPad screen. I'm using Air Server to do that, for those of you who will ask that question. But Knowmia is an app product just for iPad. There's not an Android device. Right now, TechSmith has just bought it. TechSmith is a maker of Camtasia, Snagit, Relay, all of those things that we educators love. But you'll notice here's the main screen when it opens. I can log in, or I can log in later. So you'll create an account. So that's the first thing you'd want to do, is sign up. That's pretty self-explanatory. I will log in later, actually. And then I have some sample lessons here. I am going to allow it to access my camera. And then I'm just going to create a new lesson here for you. And I can pick the aspect ratios of my... So I can select 16:9 if I wanted to. Obviously, that's under the paid version. So we're going to go ahead and create new lesson in the 4:3. It's just really a screen resolution, whether it's narrower or wider. And then it looks kind of like PowerPoint when you get in here. So I can preset all of my slides. You'll see those under the lesson steps on the left-hand side of the screen there. You'll also see, and I've got my iPad down below, so I keep seeing me look down here. And then you've got face recording on and off. So if I turn that on, you'll actually probably see my ceiling, but there it is. So for those of you who are watching, you'll probably, hopefully I don't block my face there, but if I had it sitting on a stand or propped up, I would just make sure that I was in that camera angle. I am going to put that down, so you're going to look at my ceiling just for this portion, and then I can actually click on this and move this around on my screen. So as I move it around with my finger on the iPad, I just click and hold, so I can put all of the lesson content in one certain area, or if I had slides already built but I knew the bottom corner was open, I could put it down there. The research on this says that it's really inconclusive for learning for those of us who are using video in our lessons. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because I'm going to use Camtasia to put my face on there on this actual lesson. The Mayer's multimedia instruction design book says that it's really inconclusive. As I've said at my seminars, I tend to be a little bit more sarcastic with my humor, so students don't always know when I'm joking. When they see the video and they see my facial expressions and things, they will say, my students always preferred that. Still do prefer to see my face there. They said it feels, A, feels more personal, and B, they can tell when I'm kidding and when I'm not kidding, because I tend to say things verbally okay, but I tend to smile when I'm being sarcastic. Down along the bottom here, we have different tools. So as I click on these, you'll see it opens up a menu, so I can actually import media if I wanted to. I can import it from my Google Drive, which is what I use, or Dropbox, or just from my iPad photo library. So I could actually go out and use my iPad to take photos of something in real life and then diagram those photos. If I was teaching a science lesson, you know, parts of a flower, I could actually have that in there from a regular photo from just my flower garden out in the backyard. Since I'm filming this in January, the flowers are dead, so I don't have one to give you as an example. I can choose a text tool here, and then I just simply type on the screen, and I hit done, and there it is. And I can type out on the screen. So if I click here again, it types wherever I touch on the screen. So I'll just type my name here for the purposes of demonstration. So if I touch in the top right area of the screen, that's when I get the text box. I type in my name, my last name, and it goes in that area where I touched last. The Next step, when I want to create a next step, I just press on the left-hand side over there, and it creates another step for me. So I can import another picture. I could use, a drawing tool. I can use, if I choose the pencil area here, this is so I can free write with my hand. I'm choosing simple math. For those of you that are math teachers, that's not my forte. I commend you, but I'm going to go simple here. And then I could even change, the colors of that line. So if I wanted to correct or highlight something, I could. And then we change it to times. You get the idea. Not that I would do that during the lesson. And then I create the next step. Now, the only thing I haven't done right now is I haven't recorded. You can record on the fly, or you can actually set these all up ahead of time like I did, and then we just hit that record button down on the bottom. You'll notice it begins recording, and I talk, and I narrate my slides, and I can say, this is where we wanted to start. You see the counter going in the very right-hand number 1 box. It tells me I'm at 14 seconds for this slide. When I touch the next slide, it actually pauses my audio, and then it will reconnect my audio and begin taping. So as soon as that disappears, you can begin talking again. So you can say, here I've highlighted 4 plus 4 versus 4 times 4. You can highlight that as well. And then when I move on to the next step, again, it does the same thing. What I haven't talked about yet is just these props down on the bottom. You can actually preset the prop. So if I had a photo that I was going to be using, I could preload it in there, and then I could just drag it onto the slide if I was doing that in a live record. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. And now what I'm ready to do is I'm ready to go, and I'm going to hit save. Sorry, I missed it. I hit save. It's a 52-second lesson. This will give you the count, and when I play it, it will play back. What I haven't talked about yet is just these props down on the bottom. You can actually preset the... Let's go to a slide I actually did something on. Notice it begins recording, and I talk. All right, so now what I'm ready to do is I'm ready to go to menu, and I'm going to upload lesson to Relay. That's actually new. I could export the file. Relay is actually TechSmith's other product, which I highly recommend, but if you don't have it, you don't know what it is, that's fine too. You can actually upload it to YouTube, but that's if you have the Pro version, which is the paid version. But you can also publish the lesson to Knowmia, which is their website. And then, so I would go ahead and do the upload. I would have to log in at this point. So I'll probably pause the video here while I log in so my credentials are safe. But once that is uploaded and published, it goes to knowmia.com. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to put a quick edit in here, and then I'll be back to show you the knowmia.com side, so that's how you would use it for your lessons, because it creates a link for you there. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, so what I've done is I've gone to knowmia.com, and on knowmia.com, I just simply logged in up here. I can then go to, add a lesson. I can go to My Knowmia, which is where I'd like to start, and I manage my profile. I can also see my uploaded videos as well. Or I can create mini courses, so I can kind of put everything and lump it together. But what I want to talk about is just these new lessons. So here's another sample lesson I created. Obviously has no real educational content to it, but I just wanted, for the sake of showing. I recorded this actually at one of the Flip seminars. You'll notice the video is here. I'll go ahead and pause that video. But the big question is right here down on Knowmia, we get an HTML code or a URL. So you could actually take this then and then post that into a learning module folder where the students are used to seeing it in your learning management software. So if you're using something like Schoology, I could post that into, so I'll show you how that would work. By the way, if you attend one of the Flip seminar lessons, all these resources that I usually talk about and then some are posted in on a Schoology page that you'll get access to after attending. All right, so I've logged into Schoology, and then what you'll notice is I'll just go ahead into courses, and I have some other courses I'm teaching actually at the university right now, but I'm going to go to the Flip Learning seminar, and then I will post this sample lesson into one of the folders, and I'll just remove it right away after I've done taping. But so we'll just go ahead to Classroom Learning Spaces here and say this was an appropriate place to put it. Maybe you have a Lesson 1 folder or Chapter 1 folder, vice versa. However you organize it and place your videos, this is normally what you'd want to do. I hit Add File and Link, and I'm going to go ahead and hit Add Link. The best part about Schoology, though, is I can actually, instead of taking just that link, I can actually take the embed code and place it into the link. And then just type the title of that. So, Chapter 1, Section 1, course notes, or whatever you're calling the videos. As I mentioned in the Flip Learning Seminar, it's always important to keep your learning management system up to date. Now, what's happening now is this won't be readily available, but it is now embedded here. So if I click on this, it will take me to that sample lesson, and it will actually then be embedded right in there. That's the beautiful part about using the embed code on Schoology if you're a Schoology user. I'm not sure about the others, but if they accept embed codes, I would insist on that. That way the students don't have to go out to Knowmia's website. They just get it delivered right through here, because the students really don't care what tools you're using. We think they do, but they don't. But you'll notice now it loaded all of this in. The students can rate it. They can comment on it. It will also talk about sample lessons too. So if the students want to extend, Knowmia builds that right in for them. How cool is that? So if you have questions or comments about this, I encourage you to either comment on the YouTube video link, or you can actually send me an email at kevin@kevinmsteele.com, or post a comment right down on the bottom of the web page on the blog site where you're finding this on my website, and I'd be happy to comment back and share that. So the more public, the better. We can all share that way. Also, I encourage you again, kevinmsteele.com has more under the blog posting, has more resources for you, and I continuously update that. So I encourage you to check that out, as well as I'd really love to see you in person at one of my Flip Learning seminars throughout the year. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you later.